Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be doing a channeled message from your person reading. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Flower Agate Star. Group 2 is the Amethyst Heart. And group 3 is the Amber. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection, and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Flower Agate Star. So I'm going to start with some tarot, and I will use these as the framework for the channeling, and then I will dive into the deeper energies surrounding that. I'm going to be channeling in the first person tense using pronouns such as I, me, you, and we. And following this initial portion of the reading, I'll get some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what comes through in the first part or can serve as additional messages for you from your person's higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the King of Cups, the 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups, King of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Page of Cups, and Death. I feel like I have been waiting my whole life to intersect with you, and it is difficult for me to continue to hold on to the reasons to remain at a distance from you rather than unveiling the full truth of all the affection I hold inside, which had been a necessary barrier between the two of us for a period of time, but which is losing its meaning and the momentum that has been pulling me in the opposite direction from you. And so I am putting my full force and concentration into troubleshooting ways in which I can hasten the process of being able to arrive to you very directly so that we can have a long overdue conversation with one another and get to the heart of the matter as far as where things stand between the two of us presently and what we can do hand in hand and side by side to be able to forge and form a better path forward to a future which serves both our mutual interests in love and in life. You are the greatest spectacle my heart has ever beheld, and you help to erase the sting and the memory of all of the ways in which I have put myself out on display for others with all of my emotions held at face value, only to be judged and rejected, which has caused me to lower my expectations and standards for quite some time. But with you I feel potent and capable, and as if the best of me that is hidden inside would be well received and safe with you. And so I am taking a leap of faith to display to you a tenderness and a level of affection that in many ways I thought was something I would just hold inside that would never truly see the light of day and be reciprocated by another person, but that I am starting to realize is actually the best of me that has been reserved specifically for this moment in time, because it was you who I have been waiting for. It was you who was always the one who was meant to receive the most genuine and special parts of who I am inside. I see in you the mirror reflection of all the potential of what I have always dreamed that love could and should be. And I find myself opening up to the idea and the possibility that time wasted in the wrong direction has in fact not really been a waste at all, because it has been serving the purpose of acclimating my palate to the ways in which love can be in a mediocre sense, in order to be able to brighten the essence of how I have been able to recognize you, who represents all of the ways that love truly should be. I am feeling the loss of our connection so acutely these days. There is so much that has happened in my life that I long to tell you about, and I am trying my best to move around certain pieces in my reality so that I am able to make a clean break from the version of myself that once held back from you, in order to be able to be bold and brave and continue forth with you along a better path, without the need or inclination to look in the rearview mirror any longer, because I know what I will be leaving behind never truly served me anyway. I thank you for your patience and for the ways in which you have held space for me. You have held your ground and kept your standards high, and this has motivated me to dig in deeply and pivot myself far beyond the lengths which I have been willing and able to go to for love in the past. You hold me to a standard by which the best of myself is not only required, but is received admirably and thoroughly. And I thank you for being the conduit and the motivator for me to no longer cut corners in my own life, but to dig in and do that hard work, to truly evaluate and see what has only been holding me back, what I am most fearful of as far as change is concerned, and what I must do in order to seize the moment and create the opportunity to live the life of my dreams, not just as a fantasy I hold in my mind and wish for but do not see in my current reality, but as something that can become materialized between the two of us, because you fit so well with the equation of who I imagine that perfect person is that would walk by my side into the future. Please expect a heartfelt communication from me to be headed in your direction very soon. And with that, know that I am closing out the tendency in my past to run hot and cold with you. I want to be consistent should you be open to the idea of discovering a new path forward for the two of us. I want so much to come into contact with you in a way that is meaningful and sustainable, because I hate the fact that we have this back and forth between the two of us. It is a dance we have been doing for too long, and it is time to change the tempo of how we are relating to one another. I thank you for the opportunity to let me take the lead in this situation and matter, because it is part of my emotional growing experience that I fight for myself and advocate for what my heart wants. At this moment in time and always, all my heart sees and desires and needs is you. So those are your messages. I'm also going to get some standalone message cards. It can either reinforce what came through in the first part of the reading or can serve as additional messages for you from your person's higher self. Okay, and we have, I feel you in my heart. I really love the way you make me feel inside. This connection scares me sometimes because it's so intense. I don't want to be rejected, so I stay silent. I feel safer not knowing the outcome. The moment I saw you, I knew you were my angel. There's a song that reminds me of you. I listen to it and think about you. Thank you for being patient. I know it isn't easy. And I want to hold you in my arms so badly. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or could spell something out, so whatever resonates for you. We've got B, Y, C, A, R, F, K, T, D, O, E, L, D, U, P, and Z. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Amethyst Heart. So I'm going to start with some tarot, and I will use these as the framework for the channeling, and then I will dive into the deeper energy surrounding that. I'm going to be channeling in the first person tense using pronouns such as I, me, you, and we. And following this initial portion of the reading, I'll get some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what came through here in the first part or can serve as additional messages for you from your person's higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands, Three of Cups, Two of Swords, Nine of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. I did not expect to fall in love with you so quickly and so deeply. And so I apologize if I have been creating unnecessary delays in this situation, but it has been a struggle for me to get my bearings and to decide how to best navigate this strange path that we find ourselves on. The intersection with you at this time in my life has caught me quite by surprise. You are like a wish that never came true, that I had long abandoned hope would ever arrive in my life. And I am reminded of all of the best intentions I had set forth, trying to lead with the best foot forward in previous connections, hoping to create or even simulate the energies of emotion and affection which seem to flow so naturally between the two of us in circumstances I have been in the past, only to find that this was a one-way street and that I was the one who was doing all of the giving and receiving very little. And so I had abandoned the idea that there could ever be someone who would see me and accept me truly for who I am. Someone who would seem to anticipate my moods and my energy without me needing to say a thing, who would seamlessly blend in with all the intricacies and quirks of who I am, so much so that by loving another, I would in essence be loving myself. And yet you have arrived, and I am taken aback by the fact that you are not simply just a fantasy or some long-forgotten wish, but you are a person of flesh and blood who seems to be made precisely for me. Everything about you fits so seamlessly, not just with what I want or what I need, but what I require. What helps to explain the parts within myself which have been difficult to decipher, that I have turned away from and have not been courageous enough to explore thoroughly up to this point in time, because I lacked the ability to put to words precisely if these things were good or bad qualities about me. And yet the way in which you gaze upon me with nothing but understanding and compassion helps me to hold myself in that same space. I am a better person by virtue of having crossed paths with you, simply because I am able to hold myself in a different capacity than had been the case before. I have abandoned the need to correct many things about myself because I see that I was just erasing the best parts of me for no good reason. I am starting to evaluate and understand how my inner critic has been my own worst enemy, and I am starting to like what I see when I look in the mirror day by day. All of this I can credit to the ways in which you have shown me a different way in which to love. The fact that you hold your flaws in the same place of grace as you hold your virtues is allowing me to not just try and ignore the persistent knock that my past has been performing upon my heart and upon my mind and upon my memory, but instead to confront these things, to release what I need to, so that I am able to receive and hold myself wholly as I am in this moment. You hold me to a higher standard of the ways in which love can be, and so I am bringing forth an element within myself that I had thought surely I would need some sort of preparation or experience with another person in order to be able to embody fully and perfectly. And yet it feels so effortless, so natural to just love in this higher capacity. It's a part of me that is so organic, that is different from everything which is contrived about the personality I present to the world and the masks I have been compelled to wear. But with you, I feel accepted for the core of who I am, and this encourages me to start to look at other areas of my life where I have been settling, or I have not been bold and declared myself fully out of fear of rejection, because I feel strengthened, armored almost by the element of the love and connection which flows between the two of us, so that no matter if I am embraced or pushed aside, I know that I am at least moving forth through the years to come as my most authentic self, and there is victory in this compared to the ways in which I have been hiding from the world for so long. Thank you for coming into my life and opening my eyes to a different way in which love can be expressed and experienced between two people. Thank you for helping me to realize that every closed door I have encountered before was simply a process of rerouting me to this exact juncture in time, where I am free and able to receive you as you are free and able to receive me as well. Thank you for being that best-kept surprise which was hidden in plain sight, seemingly all around me, and yet at a distance, until I was prepared enough within myself to be able to let a love like this in fully. Thank you for all of the ways you continue to mystify me and show me a different face of love than I have ever known was possible. Thank you for being my wish come true at long last. So those are your messages. Let's see what else your person wants you to know from their higher self. Okay, and we have, let's take this to the next level. I don't want anyone else. I just want you. I'm in a better headspace now. I'm in love with you, and I'm not sure how to tell you. I don't want to take you for granted or misuse you. You are so radiant. You shine like the brightest star. Thank you for being patient. I know it isn't easy. And I've made my mind up You are the one. I don't want to waste any more time. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got R, D, L, H, O, G, M, I, B, K, L, Z, M, C, S, P, G, Y, and D. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the amber. So I'm going to start with some tarot, and I will use these as the framework for the channeling, and then I will dive into the deeper energies surrounding that. I'm going to be channeling in the first person tense using pronouns such as I, me, you, and we. And following this initial portion of the reading, I'll get some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what comes through in the first part or serve as additional messages for you from your person's higher self. And then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords, the King of Swords, Page of Cups, Nine of Cups, Seven of Cups, the Magician, Four of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. I am motivated to take bold and decisive action towards you. I want to impress you with all of the ways I have evolved in the time since we were last in direct connection with one another. I know that it might be surprising to have me pop up so suddenly and as a transformed version of myself, when you have been holding on to an image in your mind of the person that I was when we were last in close proximity. But it feels that time is of the essence, that a window of opportunity is quickly closing for me to make a difference in this situation, to put my name in the hat as far as potential suitors that may try to win your heart, or to forever be locked out and left as a spectator in your life from this point moving forward. I feel like a fool for not recognizing your value and your worth sooner, and I know that I need to try my best to do things that I had not done before in a consistent and thorough manner, because your patience has already run so thin with me, and you might be skeptical and guarded at even the idea of one more go-around in the cycle between the two of us that has been stale and outdated for quite some time. And yet I can't just let the situation between the two of us fall by the wayside, not after I have evolved as much as I have, and that I am more aware of my own shortcomings, the distractions and the wounds that I had held on to before, that I have released from my life in such a profound way that my perception is now cleansed and I am able to see and appreciate you from a whole new vantage point. I don't know why I ran from the love you had to offer before, except for the fact that I was emotionally stunted due to my unwillingness to simply admit that all I have wanted and needed in my life is a deep and meaningful connection with another person. I became so distracted with the ways in which the world perceived me that I failed to ever ask myself if I ever truly liked the person that I saw in the mirror thoroughly. I was so caught up in the world of illusions and distractions that I forgot I was playing a role in who I truly was inside. You brought crashing down the terrible reality that I had abandoned myself long ago, and you encouraged me in a loving way, which triggered me deeply, to simply be myself and to not put on airs or to try and pretend to be someone that I was not, because it was the core of who I was that you could see even after I had long been unable to recognize or own that part of myself. I pushed away the opportunity to unfold into a better version of myself by your side, and it has been a hard and humbling reality, the ways in which life has nevertheless taught me that it was important for me to evolve and to grow, to stop living in the shadow of other people, and to decide for myself who I really was inside and who I wanted to be. I have forged a new path forward in my life that is quite different from the life I was living before, and I hope you are excited by the changes that I demonstrate to you. I don't want to make promises I cannot keep or waste your time with empty words, and so I am planning what it is I am going to say to you very carefully. I have already tested the waters between the two of us, energetically speaking, and it feels that the climate is right for me to make my move. I don't want to overwhelm you or confuse you or frighten you in any way, because I know our history with one another has been turbulent, and you have every right to be cautious and discerning as far as I am concerned. The fact that you have released a way in which you were holding so tightly to the potential within me and the idea of a connection between the two of us seems to have made me crave you even more. Now that I have checked back in with where you are on your path and your progression, I am filled with an insatiable need to be close to you, to be that wish fulfillment you desired me to be once upon a time. But I see and understand you have grown and evolved into an entirely different version of yourself, and so I am unsure and a bit hesitant and nervous as far as if the chemistry that once was so palpable between the two of us has endured these rough seas that we have each been chartering in our own direction, or if the time for our love story has passed and this will simply be an opportunity for closure between the two of us. I cannot continue to go through the years with a sense of not knowing. I must act. I must speak my truth to you, and one way or another put some resolution or some kind of explanation in this heaviness that I hold inside and the deep regret for how things have turned out between the two of us. I wish I had known then what it is that I know now. I wish I had endeavored to create more healing within myself rather than avoiding the nature of my wounds at all cost and putting on a brave face for the sake of what others would think, because I might have been equipped to ride the intensity of this connection with you by my side, rather than pushing you away at the first sign of trouble and creating this gap which now exists between the two of us, that I am tasked to walk and create a new path forward to you, replicating a type of bridge that once existed and which I had free access in and out of your life, but that has been collapsed, and so I am now needing to find a new way into your heart. I hope that you are happy to see me, and I hope that I don't interrupt the momentum that you have going on in your life. You are shining so brightly at this time, and I am glad to see that things have finally turned in your favor. I wish nothing more than for the best for you, and I hope I can add some measure of pleasantries to your life and to your existence. I know you have no more tolerance for frivolity or half-hearted promises, and so I am hoping that you will trust and allow me to prove and demonstrate to you consistently, slowly, thoroughly, and with time, that when I emerge back into your reality with a willingness to open my heart to you and to speak the truths that are long overdue, that I mean this not in a temporary fashion or to play mind games or to pull on your heartstrings only to run in the opposite direction. But if you will have me, if you will hold space with an open mind for what can be, I fully intend on making up for lost time between the two of us and working with you to create something, to salvage what can be a new beginning between the two of us, to course correct and get our love story back on track as it should have been long ago. So those are your messages. I'm also going to get some standalone message cards that can either reinforce what came through in the first part of the reading or can serve as additional messages for you from your person's higher self. Okay, and we have, you are so beautiful. I'm watching you. I adore you. I love you. I'm ready to take you out on a romantic date. Your heart is like no other I have known. You cross my mind 1,000 times a day. There's a lot that I want to say to you right now. And I really do miss you. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name of you or your person, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got E, C, R, J, V, N, Y, S, O, G, R, H, U, P, S, L, G, Z, and L. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.